Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to Apply. All right, so today my guest is Christiane Constantino. She's an author, speaker, and a business coach. Christiana, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Adam, for inviting me.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about today. A lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs that watch this show and talking about achieving financial balance in your entrepreneurial life and your personal life. I'm excited to get input from you on how to do this and also to share that with my audience. But before we do that, we'll start this episode the way that we start them all with what we like to call our Mission Matters Minute. So at Mission Matters, our aim and our goal is to amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's what we do. Christiane, what mission matters to you?
Oh, what mission matters to me? I would say the economic development and the entrepreneurship has always been at the core of my mission. So that's why I created 6DT Consulting, so I can help entrepreneurs master their own financial management and build a sustainable and thriving business.
Hmm.
Because you need money to start a business, so
Yeah.
you need to manage it. So
Yeah. Well, great having you on today. And I guess just to get us going here, Christiane, how did you get started as an entrepreneur? Like, where did all that begin for you?
I would say it began when I was about 18 years old. I went to the university and then I started my bachelor's degree in computer science,
Mm-hmm.
then got pregnant. So the second semester was too tired to, so I wanted something easy to learn. So I decided to learn accounting.
Hold on. You wanted something easy? So what do you do for fun? No, I'm just.
So I started with accounting. And then it was a bit difficult, so I went to admin. So I did my bachelor's degree in administration, and after that, I did my post-university degree in corporate finance.
Hmm.
And finally, I did a master's degree in management, it's called an executive MBA. So
Mm-hmm.
just for me to better understand my clients, because I work as a portfolio manager at a
Yeah.
big corporation in the province of Quebec. So I wanted to better understand their process, their operations, not just the finance aspect, because it's not just money, there's
Mm-hmm.
people behind the numbers. So I wanted to understand the whole aspect of the business. So that's why I did 2 years full-time study and working, those both. So
Yeah.
just better understand the business owner. So I think I did pretty good. I think I was
Yeah.
top
What
five.
when you had those multiple roles you were doing, like what kept you strong during those times? Those don't sound like very easy years, like trying to keep managing the family, multiple positions, all these other things. Like what kept you strong?
What kept me strong is its resilience. Because when I was very young, I had a disease called it's rheumatic fever. So
Mm,
it damaged a part of my heart. So, and after that, overcoming that challenge in life, I decided that
mm,
no, nothing mattered. There's no obstacle for me that would matter. So I always
yeah.
make sure I start my day like with an objective in mind. 10 objectives, not more than that, because nobody can do more than that. So
I'm happy to get through two or three. You said 10. Go ahead.
so I start with 10, and then after that, I break it down. I've read the book, what is it called? Eat That Frog First from Brian Tracy.
Yeah.
So you take the ugly one, the ugly frog first, and you start with the job you don't want to do, and then you just do it. So you put that aside, and then you can achieve anything. So that's what I do. Is I just break it down into small pieces. So
Mm,
you can't eat an elephant in one day. So you've got to start somewhere. So you can start with the nose or the legs.
yeah.
So it's time. So for me, doing a master's degree was like a big elephant to eat. So
Yeah.
2 years of preparation and everything. But you've got to, and I've got tools to do it. Like I use my agenda to fix all these objectives. So
Mm,
I write it down on a piece of paper and then I put it in my agenda to make sure
yeah.
it does balance with my day. So
And I understand. So at what point, like so you're working in corporate, you're doing this, and at some point you decide that you're going to kind of go that entrepreneurial route. Like how did that happen?
how did it happen? I think it happened just I had great bosses, but when I was doing my BMBA, one of my boss decided to retire, so
Mm,
he left us with a new guy. But the new guy it's kind of young and everything. And I did my master's degree to make sure like I wanted to do more into the economic development. I wanted to take more decisions for my clients. So I was kind
Mm,
of, there was some hurdles there. I didn't want to. So I said, well, see if I have, it didn't fit my own mission. So,
yeah.
which was like helping people or helping
Mm,
businesses to grow and everything. So it was kind of a setback for me. So instead of being in a job I didn't like, because of the new way they wanted to implement the financing program to entrepreneurs. So I decided to leave, and I took a chance. I just left everything, big job, big money. I left
yeah.
everything, and then I decided to start my own business.
Did
So
people think you were crazy at this time? They're like,
yes,
"What are you doing? You're gonna go start a business? Don't do it."
yeah, but people
Or
thought
well,
that, but myself,
that
I
was
never.
my experience. What was your experience like? What did people think at that time when you said you were gonna do that? Leave the big salary, leave the big job, and go start on your own?
Yeah, well, actually, people thought they thought about that, but didn't tell me. My husband did tell me though, because he told me, he said, "Are you crazy?"
He told you, okay.
Yeah, because he wanted to travel, he wanted to do a lot of stuff. So and just I said, it takes time to do a business. So and I think he's very, very proud now.
Of
So
course.
he did help a lot. And I remember my first 3 months was chaotic because we had a problem with the house.
Mm.
And then
That's
and we
called
said,
Murphy's Law. Of course, some other
yes,
things have to go bad. It has to. Like that's
yes,
how you know you're on the right path. If it's going right, you better be scared.
exactly. So he said, "Are you?" He said, "Why did you decided to start at that moment?" I said, "Well, come on, I didn't decided to
I
the
know, like,
company
how did I for
house."
everybody that started a business right before COVID, right? Or like they're like,
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly,
know COVID was gonna happen. I just started, right?
exactly.
Like, you don't know. That's life, right?
It is life, yeah. So you gotta take the problems one at a time, and then
Yeah.
try to figure a solution. And the best way to do it, I think, is
Hmm.
not to go into an urgent mode. So just tackle down what the stressor or the
Hmm.
problem, and then think about it. And sometimes just sleeping overnight, so
Mm.
you're gonna find solutions.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of, and there's always way to do things in an economic type of way.
Hmm.
So you can restructure your business, you can do anything. So,
Yeah.
but people sometimes they stress and they just see the problem. But if you
Hmm.
look at the big picture, sometimes they, okay, I can do
Mm.
this way and this way. I
Mm.
can get a advice from my accountant.
Mm.
Just invite him for lunch, because it's not going to invite you. It's going to charge you for the lunch. Because
Yeah.
if you talk to him, he's going to charge you. But if you invite him to lunch, it's not going to. I don't think
Yeah.
he's going to charge you. But sometimes getting advices like that helps.
At what point did you decide you wanted to be an author? So I understand you have a book out there. So it's called Cancer Sucks: The Journey of an Entrepreneur and Her Fight Against Cancer While Running Her Business. First off, great title. Cancer Sucks. I don't think anybody would disagree about that one. So great,
Yeah.
great title. When did you decide you wanted to be an author? Like what inspired this book?
When I was very young, we lived very in an, I would call it an outpost, So
Mm,
there was like three houses, and we were living, and then once a month there was a little bus that would come around and then give us some books. So
mm,
I really like books, so I had books everywhere in my house. So, and then writing for me is easy, because I had to write all these convincing financing structure to the board of directors, so they could sign off on
yeah.
the loans and everything. So for me, writing was an easy way to do it.
Mm,
And then when I had cancer, I told my husband, I said, it's a joke, but I always joke about it. But I'll tell everyone, my husband is a millionaire, so because
mhm.
he's a government paid employee. So I said, he's a millionaire. I said, I have you, so you can support me financially. But what happens to people that don't they're not married to a millionaire like you?
Mm,
So, well, you're smart, just write a book. So I wrote, that's why this is mostly his idea. So I did write a book, because I said, okay, because I had the professional background
mhm,
to overcome that problem. I had also, it was during COVID time, by the way. I had cancer treatments during COVID time. It was a
mm,
very strange period. And
mm.
I couldn't close down my business, because the government, because it's an accounting practice business,
Yeah.
so they would forbid me to close.
Mhm.
And so I took notes of every situation I
Yeah.
was encountering, and I wrote a book about that. So
Was it difficult for you to share like your personal journey, or did that come kind of naturally? Because I know when some people are going through the book writing process or going through that, it's maybe some of the first time in their lives that they're sharing their personal stories in a very public way. Like, did you have any issues with that, or how was that for you?
it was not that difficult,
Hmm.
but I had to do it. So to give it some credibility, so you have to
Yeah.
tell your story first. And so what I did is I called a friend of mine and I said, she's a smart girl with a very good handwriting. I said, I want you to help me write this book. I don't want to be alone to do it. So
Yeah.
we did it, not in a partnership, but she reviewed all my book and she removed stuff she didn't like. Sometimes I was too direct,
Yeah.
So she embellished the thing.
She
But
helps censor a little bit, maybe.
yeah, she did censor it. So, because when you have cancer and you announce to your employees, for example, that you have cancer, so the reaction, you don't
Mm.
see their reaction. So
What was
communication.
that like? The whole like announcing to your employees and like other things, that's a different dynamic I haven't really
Yeah.
considered before. Like, what is that like?
First of all, we work distant. We work all from home because I don't
Mm.
have a physical address. I used to have a physical address, but then because of COVID, we didn't have a
Yeah.
physical address. So we would meet once in a while in the office, but with COVID, we decided we had to stay
Mhm.
home. So I did it in a very awkward way. So
Mm.
instead of calling my friend Joelle and say, okay, how can I
That's a good
approach this
lead-in. How did
problem?
you announce it? Very awkwardly. No.
Very awkwardly. So the reaction
I
was
mean,
very
I don't
awkward.
know how you do training. That's why I'm asking you this too, by the way, because I feel like there's some other people like that may have to communicate that message, and maybe them hearing this
Yeah,
will give them a little bit of strength in their what they have to do, right?
yeah,
So
you have
that's
to
why I
be.
asked you that question. It's very unique. I never considered it. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, you have to be prepared and you have to test your pitch. It's like a pitch. You're pitching to your employees. Don't go away because I'm sick, but don't leave me.
Yeah.
And you've got to validate the pitch with a communication company because it's a big thing. So you just can't not just throw that like I did. I had a meeting and I said, well, I've got news for you. Not necessarily good for me, but I'll go over it. And then the
Mm.
reaction to one of them is the next day she decided to take all my clients. And then I said, "Oh boy, I didn't see that one coming."
Yeah.
So I said, "Okay, no problem." So, but I mean, you can't just leave with my clients, or you got to pay for them. So I'm going to make you an offer.
Yeah.
And then and she said, so I gave her a number. She said,
Mhm.
well, I don't have that kind of money. Well, I'm sorry, but you're an accountant, so you should know the value of an accounts receivable and should know the value of an account.
Mm.
So I said, well, I don't think you're a good bookkeeper. So I had to fire her like right on the spot. So that was difficult because
Yeah.
I was losing one staff, but I didn't want her to start doing like talking to everyone.
Of
So that's the
course.
part of the book that was like kind of changed by my friend there. So the
Yeah.
whole story. But it's not easy. You can have weird
Mm.
reactions from your clients, but also
Mm.
from your suppliers.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them they reduced some of their because they knew I was going to downsize for a short like a full year because
Yeah.
it's a full year. So they knew that, so they gave me reductions on everything.
Mm.
Some of them that were like very good and some of them were bad suppliers. But at
Mm.
the end of the day, the biggest thing I did is I replanned my whole business. I decided, okay, let's think this as a challenging moment, but also as
Yeah.
a way to thrive, and try and find what do I want to do after that. you
Mm.
know Managing a team of a few bookkeepers is a lot for me. I found it very hard to do. So I
Mhm.
decided, well, what can I do after? And I had one of my sisters, she was there to help me. So
Mm.
communication, I left it to her because she's better at me. So she had to communicate. It was her, not
Yeah.
me. So and so yeah, so it's not an easy part. So
Yeah.
but get some help to talk to your clients. Don't do it right on the spot, and don't
Yeah.
and then
How
don't impose your sickness to your employees, by the way. So that's very important. So don't impose, that's not the subject. They're going to see you're losing your hair, so you have no choice to tell them. So
Yeah.
you're going to see you're green or you're gray, so you have no and your skin is going to change. So you have to tell them. So you have to tell them, but do it the proper way. So
Mm. How does so have you been able to achieve a level of like work-life balance now? Like where are you at now? Like talk to me about more about present day and like for some of the individuals listening, that concept of work-life balance. Like have you been able to? Like how do you feel about that?
so what I did is I did a strategic plan, and but I really took time to embed into the plan my own personal life. Okay, for
Mm.
example, I forgot that I was a yogi before, so I started doing yoga again. I started to be more mindful. Just to give you
Mm.
an example, I used to call a service department like to the telephone company or whatever, and I would say, "Oh, well, I need some help with this." Now, when I call,
Yeah.
I say, "Oh, how was your day? What's your name?" So I try to be more personal because you have to understand there's somebody at the end of the line. So
Hmm.
I decided to change a few things like that in my life, be
Mm.
more present with the kids, do more stuff that I really like to do.
Hmm.
And you don't see it, but I have a little dog on my lap. So I wanted to have a dog. So you see, so here's
Oh, that's great.
and then so I wanted to have a
Hey,
dog.
we're dog, cat, kid friendly. It's all good.
Yeah, I
Mission
have to
matters.
keep her on my lap because if there's somebody at the door, she's gonna yap. So she likes to protect me. So I did add all these personal aspects into my strategic plan. That was not
Mm.
easy, which meant I had to reduce the number of hours I was going to be working. I
Hmm.
wanted to work alone. I didn't want staff anymore. So what I did is I changed. So I wanted to maintain the same level of not service because I want to work only 4 days a week instead of five.
Mm.
And then so I increased my prices to manage to have the same payback at the end of the same pay at the end of 2 weeks. So I did tackle little changes like that,
Hmm.
and now it's perfect. So in my agenda now I've got 1 week per month of vacation. So that's
Mm.
1 week a month. Right? So it's 5 days out of 20 days.
Yeah.
So I only work 15 days, and after that I take the Fridays off. So and I was able to manage all of that, and I make
Mm.
more money. The bottom
And
line is up. So
and now that you have a little bit more time on your hands, I understand when I say like what's next. I'm sure that you're doing more things. So I already know. New book, I'm guessing, new writing, new like talk to me about like what's next.
so what I did is I did the this is the first one.
Because this is what entrepreneurs do, by the way. They get their time back and then they're like, oh, let me fill it back up. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I tried that. I tried. So that's a good point you have because after my last treatment, I
Mm.
said, okay, I'm back full time. Blah blah blah. And oh boy, I was like, I didn't know the side effects would last so long. So they
Mm.
lasted over a year after
Hmm.
the last treatments, and so it was kind of difficult. So I wrote the first book. The second one, people told me, so you should have a book for non-entrepreneurs. So I did a second book.
Mm.
So which one is it's not as successful as my first one. My first one, I think it's number 59 in
Yeah.
Amazon.com section for cancer section. So
Mm.
it's pretty good. I'm pretty proud. And then my third book is going to be the same thing. It's about health, wellness,
Mm.
and the business owner. So how can you manage everything, you know,
Mm.
and then keep it, and focus on your well-being
Yeah.
first. Your health is going to improve for sure, and then your cash is going to improve for sure, because if your mind is not there, it's more difficult. So you got to balance everything. So if you don't balance your life, when I started it was like work, 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 business, 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 but
Yeah.
now it's more balanced, so it's easier to
Mm.
manage everything.
I know many authors and many of them that I've interviewed on this show. And when I think about like someone that has a series, really, now as you get to the third book, you already have a series really of this big body of work. And so I'm interested to know if for yourself, as you've gone through this journey and documented it, and now you're working on this third book, has there been any maybe unexpected things that you even learned about yourself when working through that process of bringing these books to light?
I didn't think I could do it. That's the
Mm.
one thing I didn't know, because being an author, it's something very different than being business owner.
Yeah.
Because the marketing is very different, and
Hmm.
the platforms are very different. It's not like Shopify or
Hmm.
e-commerce, it's Amazon.
Yeah.
So you've got to learn a lot. So, and also I had a coach. So what I did is I
Mm.
did work with a coach. It's very expensive, by the way, but I worked with a coach, and he told me, he really helped me go
Mm.
fast forward on the publishing. So on the publishing, on the editing and everything.
Yeah.
So that's important. So in all aspects where I'm not comfortable, I
Hmm.
get a coach. Okay. Or I get somebody to help me. I'll do it,
Yeah.
but I want somebody to help me. If I
Mm.
cannot do it, then I will just, well, subcontract it.
Yeah.
So I'll hire someone to do it, but it's rare. So I usually do it.
Hmm.
And so there's going to be a series of 3 books for entrepreneurs and wellness. The last 2 ones, I'm not sure about the title, but probably like something about like how to manage your busy schedule.
Mm.
So, and then the third one, I'm not sure yet. So I've got like 10,000 titles.
Keep him busy. I love it. Well, final question, Christiane. If somebody's listening to this or watching this, and if they want to follow up and they want to learn more, how do they do that? How do they connect with you and the brand and your message?
Actually, if you type my name, I think it's unique in the world. So,
Yeah.
so it's not like Mr. Smith or John Smith, James Smith. So it's very easy. I'm very easy to find. So 6DT Consulting, you'll find me also. I've got a
Mhm.
Shopify. I've got a Shopify store. Well, I speak about wellness and how to overcome problems
Mhm.
in your business. It's I want to focus on business, by the way. I don't want to go
Yeah.
outside I'm not a health professional, so I'll just stay in the business side. And so it's very easy to find me. It's been I've worked like for 30 years now. So those 30 years, I went abroad for a few contracts and stuff like that. So I think you
Mm.
can find me easily. So if you type my
Yeah.
name, actually, I asked ChatGPT the other day because I read something on the Times magazine, or is it Times or Forbes magazine, and it said just ask ChatGPT to see what's in the world for you. You should have seen the list there. So the world is talking about me for sure.
Amazing. So for everybody watching this, just so you know, we'll put some links in the show notes as well so that you can just click on the link and head right on over and grab a copy of one of Christiane's books as well. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Christiane, again, it's been so much fun having you on the show. Thank you for coming on.
And thanks, Adam. Lovely to have met you. So